Welcome back to Journeys and Footprints. Today, we are standing above the Saigon River.
Not just anywhere above it, but on Ba Sun Bridge at golden hour.
This is the story of Mark, an architect from Australia returning to Ho Chi Minh City.
He had not visited the city for a decade, and he expected change.
But he did not expect to be stopped in his tracks by a bridge.
The place that amazed him most was not a hidden cafe or quiet alley.
It was the view from Ba Sun Bridge, looking across a city transforming before him.
That moment began with a memory from 10 years earlier.
Back then, Mark remembered Thu Thiem as mostly mud, marshes, and wild vegetation.
Saigon already felt alive then, but its modern skyline seemed concentrated in District 1.
The glass towers, the density, the urban energy, all felt anchored on one side.
Then, on this return trip, he walked along 𝗛𝗙𝗡𝗘𝗬𝗖 Street.
He passed the newly operational Metro Line 1, another sign of the city moving forward.
And then he stepped onto the pedestrian path of Ba Sun Bridge.
He looked up, then out, then down toward the river.
The 113-meter cable-stayed tower rose above him, leaning with an elegant sail-like form.
To Mark, it did not feel like simple transport infrastructure.
It felt like a sculpture of steel and concrete, stretched across water and time.
A bridge can carry traffic, of course, but this one seemed to carry meaning.
It connected old Saigon with a vision of what the city is becoming.
That contrast is what made the moment so powerful for him.
On one side, the old city center held its familiar rhythm.
On the other side, Thu Thiem opened wide, bright, and unexpectedly modern.
It was around 5:30 in the afternoon when the light began to change.
The sun started lowering behind the skyscrapers of District 1.
The Saigon River caught that light and turned deep amber.
From the middle of the bridge, Mark turned his back to the old city center.
He let the whole panorama spread out around him.
To the left, 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗬 Financial Tower glowed in the late afternoon.
Its lotus bud shape stood out clearly against the warm sky.
To the right, landmark 81 rose like a futuristic bamboo bundle.
It seemed to reach beyond the skyline, almost into the future itself.
Straight ahead, Bac Dang Wharf was busy with river buses cutting through the water.
Their wakes shimmered behind them, silver lines moving across the amber surface.
Below him, Thu Thiem was no longer the place Mark remembered.
Wide avenues, waterfront parks, and new financial towers were unfolding across the riverbank.
For an architect, that kind of transformation is more than visual.
It is spatial, emotional, and deeply tied to how a city imagines itself.
Mark described it as standing between two worlds.
On one side, Saigon's historic heritage, anchored by the old Ba Sun shipyard.
On the other, a rapidly emerging urban district he compared to a mini Singapore.
That phrase says a lot about what he felt in the moment.
Not that the city had become somewhere else,
but that it was becoming more ambitious, more vertical, and more outward-looking.
Still, the surprise was not only the glass, concrete, and height.
What truly struck Mark was the vitality surrounding him on the bridge.
The city was not posing for a photograph.
It was moving, breathing, laughing, commuting, and changing in real time.
Along the railings, young Vietnamese stood with smartphones raised.
They were catching golden hour, one bright frame at a time.
Some filmed the skyline, some photographed the river, some turned the camera toward themselves.
The bridge had become a lookout, a promenade, and a stage for memory.
Young families walked slowly along the pedestrian path.
Their laughter mixed with the breeze coming off the Saigon River.
Below, traffic moved across the bridge in steady streams.
It was brisk, fluid, and full of urban momentum.
For Mark, that energy mattered as much as the skyline.
Buildings can impress the eye, but people reveal the soul of a place.
And here, the soul of the city still felt unmistakably Saigon.
Fast, warm, restless, expressive, and somehow romantic beside the river.
That is one of the reasons Ba Sun Bridge feels so symbolic.
It shows rapid modernization without erasing the emotional power of the waterfront.
The river is not just scenery in this story.
It is the old line through which the city keeps recognizing itself.
From the bridge, Mark could sense the past behind him.
He could also see the future rising in front of him.
And between those two directions, there was movement.
River buses moving, traffic moving, people moving, light moving across glass.
Nothing about the view felt frozen.
Even the sunset seemed to shift every few seconds.
That is why the bridge becomes more than a crossing.
It becomes a place to understand the pace of Ho Chi Minh City.
A decade can feel long, but here it also feels shockingly brief.
Mark left with the sense that the city had sprinted forward.
Yet the feeling was not cold or anonymous.
It still carried the warmth of evening air, river wind, and human presence.
That balance is difficult for any metropolis to maintain.
Rapid growth can sometimes make a place feel disconnected from its own memory.
But from 𝗛𝗠𝗡 Bridge, Mark saw continuity as well as change.
District 1 remained visible, familiar, and historically charged.
Thu Thiem appeared bold, open, and filled with future possibility.
The bridge held them together in one sweeping view.
As afternoon turned toward evening, the scene deepened.
The warm glow faded, and the city lights began to take over.
𝗛𝗠𝗡 Bridge itself became part of the nightscape.
Its artistic LED lights reflected vividly across the darker water.
For travelers, that is often when a city becomes unforgettable.
Not when every detail is explained, but when a feeling settles in.
Mark stood there long enough to let that feeling become a sentence.
Later he wrote a single line in his travel journal.
Saigon never sleeps, and Saigon never stops growing.
It is a simple line, but it captures the pulse he felt from the bridge.
The pulse of traffic, construction, water, light, and people.
The pulse of a city stepping boldly into its next chapter.
If you visit Ho Chi Minh City, consider taking this walk in late afternoon.
Start near the river, move slowly, and let the skyline reveal itself.
Pause near the middle of 𝗛𝗠𝗡 Bridge.
Look back toward District 1, then across toward Thu Thiem.
Watch the river buses at 𝗛𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗬𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕 trace bright paths through the water.
Notice 𝗙𝗙𝗡𝗘𝗬𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕 catching light, and landmark 81 lifting the eye upward.
Listen for laughter, traffic, and the wind moving across the river.
That combination is the real soundtrack of the place.
It is not only about what has been built.
It is about what the city seems ready to become.
For Mark, 𝗛𝗠𝗡 Bridge offered one of the clearest views of that transformation.
Not from a distance, but from inside the movement itself.
He arrived expecting to revisit a city he once knew.
He left understanding that Saigon had kept moving while he was away.
And perhaps that is the lesson for any returning traveler.
Cities are never exactly where we left them.
They gather new roads, new towers, new habits, and new dreams.
But the best cities also keep a thread of recognition alive.
On 𝗛𝗠𝗡 Bridge, Mark felt that thread crossing the river with him.
Past and future, old shipyard and new skyline, river memory and urban ambition.
All of it came together in one late afternoon view.
That is why this bridge is more than a stop on a route.
It is a vantage point on a future metropolis.
And it is a reminder that transformation can be both dramatic and deeply human.
So, take a breath there, if you ever find yourself in the city.
Let the river breeze meet the heat of the day.
Let the skyline surprise you, even if you think you are prepared.
And let the city speak in its own fast, luminous language.
Thank you for joining us on Journeys and Footprints.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep listening for the heartbeat of each place.